Hey everybody, my name is Lauren Bentley. Thank you so very much for being here. Whether it's your first time here or you're a returning viewer, I am very grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so very much for joining me, even if you're joining me from a space of anger or even feeling some rage within you right now. Because that's exactly what this video is all about today. It's going to be a yoga and somatic experiencing class to help us to experience and release some of that anger within us. So we're going to be starting off with a little bit of a meditation just to really help us to ground into this moment and feel into alternate anchor points. These alternate anchor points are going to be your senses. So I want you to then connect with whatever sense that felt the most resonation with you, right? Like what felt the most nurturing and supportive for you. And the reason that we're going to do this is because then as we go into experiencing some of our anger, you may be met with some overwhelm and you may need to back out of that, or you may need to back out of the breath, or maybe even just focusing on the breath in general does not feel good for you. So at any time that happens, you can then just go into your alternate anchor point, taking a little rest, maybe even pausing the video and just having some tea or going outside, going for a walk, writing in your journal, whatever it is that you need. That's the beauty of a virtual class, is you can pause, come back as often or as little as suits you. This is a process called titration. It's the idea of experiencing a little bit of the emotion and then backing off when it feels overwhelming and taking your attention to someplace else, coming back when you feel ready, removing, taking your attention someplace else when you need again. So I'm going to set you up that you have that ability to do so. And then we are going to do a little bit of a somatic experiencing together, where I'm going to invite you to locate the anger in your body, perhaps connect with it, speak to it with a little bit of a practice that I have for you. And then I'm going to invite you to use sound, movement, and breath to express that anger. So if you are in a home with other people, or you're just not alone in general right now, you're welcome to come back to this when you are alone and you feel more comfortable, perhaps expressing those sounds, because not everybody does, or just simply let the people in your house know, hey, this is what's going on. And so if whatever you hear, don't come into this room. I am safe. I'm okay. I'm just expressing my anger within me. And I just want to say that you may be really surprised with what is ready to come up for you. And I would invite you to not be afraid about what does want to come through, the sound you want to make, maybe the movement you want to make, maybe you want to like punch the floor or a pillow. Please do not hit yourself. Obviously, no self-harm here, please. Because there could be a lot of this anger, this fight, flight, freeze wrapped up and built up inside of you. That could have come from when we were infant babies, if we wanted to pull hair and being stopped in doing that, or when we were a toddler throwing a temper tantrum and we were interrupted and stopped from doing that. When we were growing up and told, it's not appropriate to be angry, go into your room and don't come out until you can act right. And I'm not saying that we need to be shaming or blaming our caregivers. The relationship you have with your caregivers is your personal story. But what I will say in general is that our caregivers were doing their best. They were doing what they knew. And of course, like that can lead to a whole different field of, if you experience some really traumatic things from your caregivers, I'm not speaking to that, but as a whole, in general, if our caregiver stopped us from expressing our anger, expressing our needs, they more than likely were coming at it from a space of this, that's all they know. They were just trying to do their best. So there may be some feelings that come up for you from the past, some things that you don't even remember, or just, like I said, some sounds, some breath, some movement that you're not even really sure exactly where they come from or connect to. Just trust that it's more than likely built up inside of you from a very early age. And just be gentle with yourself and love yourself through it. After the somatic experience, we're just going to go through a couple sun salutations, just a couple movements to get the body moving and to allow that anger to be energy in motion. Again, if you don't enjoy yoga, or if you just need to take your awareness off of everything, then I welcome you just to, turn off the video, go outside, go for a walk, go do a different exercise, dance, cardio, lift weights, drink some tea, take a nap, journal, whatever feels best for you. Just listen to you. Take what serves you in this video and leave what doesn't. All right. So no props would be needed today. Let's just go ahead and get on our mat and get yourself in a comfortable seated position. All right. Sitting here in our cross-legged seat. My apologies for the long-winded introductions. I'm trying really hard to not have them be so long-winded, but of course, this class in general needed a great explanation, I believe. All right, so here we are on our mat. Let's go ahead and roll our shoulders back. Sit up as tall as feels comfortable for you, and then we'll bring our chin parallel to the floor. Let's soften our eyes. You don't have to close them off completely. If you wish to leave your eyes open, just take your eyes to something on the floor in front of you that you can just focus on, that's not really needing much of your attention. But if it does feel okay for you to close your eyes completely, then of course, by all means, please go ahead and do so. We're just going to drop right in here. I want you to notice the mat beneath you. Feeling every part of your body that's connected to the mat. Feel the earth below you. Really noticing yourself held here and supported. Feel into a safe and sacred space around you. Notice the clothing on your skin and the temperature of the room you are in. Is there any sense around you that you can smell? Are there any tastes in your mouth? Notice the sounds around you. And even behind closed eyes, notice what you can see. Now, notice which one of these senses felt the best for you today. And allow that to be your alternate anchor point. Allow that to be your safety net that you can return to anytime you need, anytime you feel overwhelmed within this class today. We'll begin to feel our breath as long as it feels comfortable for you. Feeling your breath flow in and out of your nose. And then on your next breath in, let's inhale through the nose, fill up as much as feels comfortable. Let's hold at the top. Take a moment just to notice the stillness. And as you exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. We'll do that twice more. Deep breath in. Hold at the top. Sigh it out through the mouth. And one more time. Inhale through the nose. Hold at the top. And then exhale, let it go. I want you to now notice that anger within you. Can you locate where it is in the body? And if you're unsure as to where it is in the body, just notice how this anger is making you feel. What's it doing to you? And then take your awareness there. And place a hand over that space. Bring all of your awareness there. I invite you to first ask anger, what is the unmet need? And just simply notice if a response comes up for you. What is the unmet need? And now letting yourself express the anger. If your anger was a breath, what kind of breath would that be? And let that breath emerge from you. Maybe you sigh it out through the mouth. Maybe you stick your tongue out as you breathe out. Just notice and follow your instincts. Let your breath express your anger. If your anger was a sound, what would it be? Let that sound come out of you. And if you want to scream, for example, maybe you don't feel like you're able to scream super loud, you can always take your hands and really place them over the mouth and scream into the hands. You can also scream into a pillow if that's the sound that you are desiring to make. And lastly, if anger was a movement, what would it be? Again, please avoid any harm to yourself. Do you need to hit the floor? Maybe you need to pound your feet into the ground. Maybe you need to wave your arms overhead. Just notice what movement your anger is. Let it all out, maybe bringing all three together. Movement, sound, and breath. Letting yourself explore, experience, release this anger. Pausing this video if you need to continue expressing in whatever way you find yourself. Or as you feel ready, let's all begin to come back down to a seated position if you left this area. You can release both hands back down to the body, or maybe wrap yourself in a hug and return to your senses. Feel the mat beneath you, the clothing on your skin, the hands on the body, wherever they may be. Notice the smells, the sounds, the tastes, and the sights around you. Just coming back into this moment and noticing how you feel in your body. Thank yourself for expressing and showing up. And if there was a message that came through about the unmet need, make that mental note to now meet that need for yourself. It's more than likely a boundary that's been crossed, words that have been left unsaid. Let yourself meet the need. And even if it's just writing in your journal to release what needs to be said. And we'll release those hands back down to the lap if they're not there already. And we'll find one lion's breath. All we're going to do is breathe in through the nose. As we exhale, we'll exhale up through the mouth audibly. And we're going to stick our tongue out and turn our eyes upwards towards our third eye, the space in between your eyebrows. Let's breathe in. Lion's breath out. Great. Okay. Come forward now, tabletop position. All fours, stacking your joints as you arrive. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Spread fingers, press into the tops of the feet. Let's breathe in. We'll drop our belly, roll our shoulders back with the chin. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Breathing in, coming into your cow pose. Breathing out into your cat, rounded back. Go ahead and continue here. A few more rounds on your own. As if you're moving like water. Anger is obviously an emotion. And the emotions within our body is usually what I believe to be the element of water. So we're moving like water. We're inviting that anger to be energy and motion to move through the body. And at any time you need to make an extra sound, movement, or breath through this practice to continue to release, I invite you to do so. Let's come back through to center, long spine. We'll turn our fingers in towards the body and warm up our wrists. We're going to be moving through some sun salutation, so we'll be on the wrist quite a bit. If turning both fingers in at the same time is a little extreme, go ahead and just do one hand at a time. If it feels okay, you're welcome to rock yourself a little front and back. Really warming up through those wrists. And if you're doing just one hand at a time, go ahead and switch your directions. Send your breath into those wrists. Coming through to center, turn your fingers back out to face the top of your mat. And we'll step our feet back, coming into our plank pose. Low belly in, tailbone down. You're welcome to drop your knees if you need. Wherever you are, let's go ahead and begin to draw some circles with our body, going around those wrists. Continuing to warm them up, we're going to warm up our shoulders, our core, our legs, just getting our whole body ready for our movement. Switch your direction of those circles. And then as you exhale, take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide. Really press into those fingertips, into the webbing between the thumb and the pointer. Let your shoulders roll away from the ears. Head is heavy. And inviting those heels down to the mat. You can even walk out those knees. So inviting one heel down as you straighten the other leg. Just taking it side to side, just breathing in some space to the body. And then go ahead and find stillness with those legs and tuck the chin in towards the chest. So you'll feel a really deep stretch in the upper back body. Just letting yourself release the weight of the world. Now bring your head back through to neutral, and we're going to go through both ways that you can find your vinyasa so that you can choose how you want to flow. Let's inhale, roll it forward, spinal wave it forward, moving like that water. Coming back into our plank. The first one I'm going to show you is belly to cobra. You can drop your knees down if you need. Regardless, hug your elbows in tight, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck those toes, press into your hands that are underneath your shoulders, upper ribs. As you pull your heart forward, elbows stay hugged in tight to the body. Only lifting up any amount that feels good on your low back. So please, no pressure in that low spine. Pelvis is down to the mat, really press into the tops of the feet. Exhale it down. Okay, now we'll lift back up to our downward dog, maybe press the tabletop first or plank. And I'll show you Chaturanga Upward Dog. Inhale, spinal wave it forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Shoulders are no lower than those elbows. Elbows are still hugged and nice and tight. And then you inhale, pull that heart forward, turning to the tops of the feet. So the only things that are on the mat here in up dog is hands and tops of feet. Exhale, rolling over those feet, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so those are your options. And of course, you can always skip the vinyasa. You can just come right back to your down dog. You can lower the knees, come into your child's pose, whatever feels best. We're just going to find a few rounds of our sun salutations before closing up the class. It's just getting that body moving, finding your breath, movement, and sound to continue to release. Let this practice be yours. Bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, begin to step to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. We'll press into all four corners of our feet. We'll pause here just for an extra few breaths to continue to get warmed up. Your palms can be flat to the mat, tailbone pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Letting your upper body fold and drape over the low body. Shake your head out, no. Shake it, yes. Continuing to release the weight of the world. Let's breathe in, find your version, half lift. Hands are on the mat, your shins or your thighs, wherever you are. You're squeezing shoulder blades towards one another. That low belly is pulled in and up. Exhale, fold it down. Breathe in, come all the way up, root to rise. Knees bend as you lift, and then they straighten when you come all the way up. Bring your palms together to touch. Exhale, hands rest, heart center. Notice what's here. Let it go if you need. Breathe in, arms reach. Breathe out, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands at the back to your plank and find your flow. Find that vinyasa, belly to cobra or Chaturanga Upward Dog. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. And we'll keep this moving, following our breath. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop, top of mat. Half lift and fold. Inhale, root to rise, stand tall. Exhale, hands rest, heart center. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, forward fold, break free. half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop it back. If you hop back, be sure to land with bent elbows. Protect your low back. Exhale, down dog. Let's find 5 more of these following your breath. It doesn't matter if you're keeping up with me or not, but you can always look at the screen to remember what you're doing if you forget. Bend your knees, look forward, exhale, step or hop, top of that. Half lift, fold, root to rise, stand tall. Exhale, hands rest, heart center. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, break free, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, step or hop it back, and find your flow. We're finding the assigned salutations to invite that anger to be energy and motion, also with the opportunity to take your mind off of it, to find that titration. Just meet yourself where you are. Bend your knees, look forward, exhale, step or hop, top of mat. Half lift and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, break free, forward fold. Half lift, fold, step or hop it back, and flow. You're on our last 3 here. Just follow your breath. It's going to be a moving meditation. Let go of what's no longer serving you. Find sound, breath, extra movement to meet your needs. Last 2. And coming into that final one, we're going to meet in our downward facing dog. All right, I'm going to pause for a few moments here in down dog, giving everybody a chance to catch up. And this is where we'll meet. Let's find a lion's breath here in our downward dog. Inhale. Stick out your tongue, exhale, let it go. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more, inhale. Let it go. Beautiful, slowly begin to soften down to your knees, coming back into a seated position. We're just gonna end here. Taking your hands to heart center, honoring yourself for showing up, honoring your emotions, knowing that feeling is healing. Emotions are energy in motion. And it's time to move through. It's time to feel. It's time to heal. You are deserving of this. Just notice how you feel in your body. Let yourself pull out that journal, have a conversation, go on a walk, whatever is needed now. Maybe you just go and watch a funny TV show. Nothing wrong with that either. Meet your needs. Show up for yourself. Let's bow forehead to our fingertips in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you so very much, friends. I hope that is serving. This is a lot of the work that I do privately with clients, and I focus a lot of the emotional healing in my Breathe and Receive membership as well. And I also offer in-person and virtual emotional release workshops seasonally. So if any of this
sounds interesting to you, if you feel like you would like some one-on-one support or to check out my membership, everything is down below in the show notes. You can reach out to me, you can email me, whatever. Let's have a conversation about what may be best for you. Or you can just continue to show up to this video if it served you. But for some people, you may need a little bit more of an advanced technique, and that's what the one-on-one work would provide for you. So thank you so very much. I hope this helped. It can be a little difficult to speak to anybody and everybody, right? So I'm just trying to meet everybody where they're at. But again, extra work, contact me, reach out one-on-one, and I will see you again real soon. Next Monday, to be exact.
I hope you all have a really beautiful Christmas. I think this is the last video that comes out before Christmas. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I will see you soon.